Dr. Salma. She's an assistant professor in data science and mathematics at Navrasha University. She received her PhD degree in applied mathematics from Maharaja Sayajirao University of Baroda. She has published more than 17 research articles in international journals and conferences. She has given several expert talks and presented research articles at national and international workshops. She has also organized various workshops, webinars, events at Navrasha University. She has more than 18 years of teaching experience at undergraduate and postgraduate levels. And today she is going to elaborate on the topic, understanding data. So please welcome Dr. Salma. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Feller, for the introduction. Nice introduction. First of all, good afternoon, Nilay sir and Robbie sir. So before starting my talk, first I would like to thank our provost sir, and I am thankful to Robbie sir also for this unique idea for the data journalism, so that we can connect this data science with the journalism field also. And also I'm thankful sir for inviting us for share our knowledge, and we can have some connection, we can share this views with all the participants. And I'm thankful to participants also, faculties, and our university, as well as participants for attending this session. So thank you all. So this is my topic, uh, understanding data. And earlier this talk we had two nice session. The first one was about the data journalism. So it is about the domain area, like how the data is data journalism is exist, and what are the aspects and some basics of it. And after that, Sharda sir has explained very nicely about the tools, like that how to implement and how to visualize the data by using very common tool Excel. And not only he has explained how to interpret also. So like many things is done in this two session. So my session is very much elementary. So I think I'm just talking about only the basic things, like I start with this is the overview of my talk. And I start with a very basic thing, what is data. So we are from morning we are talking about the like data analysis tool and data journalism. So you can see this word data is very important, and we know about it, but how it came into existence, like, so the in simple language we can say it is a information. So data is nothing but information about you can see about any system, or if we are going through any process, right? So either it is in education or in healthcare, or we are facing a daily life, we are just spending our daily routine time with chatting, or accessing some online application, shopping. So whatever things we are doing in our daily life, that creating information, right? So you can see the information is means existing every day, right? And this information can be called as a data. So now the second thing is about the knowledge, right? So beside information, we should have a knowledge about the system, like what we know about dealing with some system, right? Or any, like, if I am giving a example of cricket, like sir has explained, Shardar sir. Like cricket is our favorite sport, and we should have knowledge of some, like how it can be played and how many runs. So this type of information I can have about the one sport, right? So that is the knowledge or information. And that if we combine these things, and the information or knowledge, if it is meaningful, so this is a very important thing, it should be meaningful and it should be organized. So if we do so, so we can call it is a data. So nowadays this become a spatial area, spatial field that you can study, and you can explore as much as you want with the help of information, right? So that is all about the data. And the in layman person we can say it is a information, right? So first thing I want to show, like if we have the information, so data, so how to represent it, right? So it is a very basic thing, but it is important. And I can say here I have mentioned mathematics is everywhere. So when you have the data, you have to represent it by, you can see, rows and columns. So like as Shardav sir has explained, like some Excel tools, so in that you have seen the data representation. So data can be uh, collected, and it can represented by what, rows and columns, and they are mathematics, right? That is somewhat mathematics, but we don't tell them maths, otherwise people may be scared, like no, no, they don't, some people don't like mathematics so much, but it is really maths. And you know, other way to represent data and to visualize data, to understand data, to interpret data by graphs, images, and that is also mathematics. So you know, data has a very close relation with maths. Okay, so now we have some basic things about the data, like basic things, the form of data. So first of all, when we have some information, so we call it is a data. So what are the different forms of it? So the very simple thing is about numbers. So we usually see data as a numbers, right? But it may not always only one way to represent data, but usually, and this is a very simplest form of data in which we can manipulate easily, like what this earlier session the Shadav sir has drawn some figures and everything. So you could see the many numbers are there, right? But you have to take care that these numbers are not the random numbers. They are actually convey something, some meaning about your system. Like sir has shown some cricket data, statistics data, some population data. So the numbers are not just the numbers, but they are conveying the population in some specific year. Some COVID data was there, so it was some cases in specific countries, specific so the numbers are not like they are very important, and actually they are very easy to analyze also. So this is a very basic way to basic form of data. But we have other form also, like text. So like in the first session we have seen that this Varsha ma'am has discussed something about data journalism, and we have some articles and some storytelling, right? So you can see the text is very important as a data. So one of the form of data can be text. So it is very important, I think, in data journalism. The main form of data may be text, right? Because articles and the news is all these things can be in this form, right? The information can be generated in the form of text everywhere. And even like sir, Provost sir mentioned about that we need some feedback of our product and something to you can see more improvement of our product. So in online shopping this platform, we have a feedback so that we can write in text. But when I write the text, it become a information, it become a data. And then the expert, they collect those text data and they analyze it and they make the conclusion like how can on the basis of feedback how we can improve the you can see system or the product quality and whatever they can do, they can take decision, right? So this is a very a useful form of data. Yeah, other forms are like images, audios and videos. So this is you can see it exists in many applications, and it is the most challenging to data scientists because you can see in healthcare system, like we have in nowadays the treatment is based on x-rays, on sonography and something, so detecting some diseases, like so they are images. Audios and videos we can see exist in in our day-to-day life in our phone. Now the facilities are there for images, audios and videos. So every day we are generating this type of data, this type of information, right? So images like this we have some image data, and in the journalism also as the Varsha said that we should have some not only the text is effective, the images also play very important role for the as a information, right? So one of the form of data are the images, and they are also very useful and very applicable to our as a data analysis, right? Another forms are video and audios. So nowadays we see everyone can capture the photos and can make a clip and make audios, right, for their such moments, right? And then this become an you can see in our mobile also means we have created so many data, right? So like 32 GBs we feeling it is less, right? So you can see this is also one of the form of data. So beside the numbers, which are a very common form, the other forms of data are equally important and equally, you can say, exist, and they are used in many applications actually. Yeah, and the other one of the form of data is newspaper articles. So this is also very nice example of forms of data because it's relevant to our journalism uh, data, right? Because we uh, have this type of articles, and we collect those information in terms of this article. So then it create your data in the form of newspaper articles. So this can be one of the form. Now we have the basic type of data. So basically, it's very important when we have to analyze that data. So before that, we should see that the characteristics of data, right? So characteristics like if how I can classify them. So basically, we can classify our data in two parts, like qualitative and quantitative. So why we do this? Because if we have qualitative type of data, then you have a different tools and a different method to analyze. When we have a quantitative data, so of course we have some different methodology, right, to analyze it. So yeah, so you can see there are mainly two types. So what is qualitative? So qualitative means verbal or narrative format. So you can see again it's relevant to our data journalism field. Like we have interviews and questionnaires and you can see articles. So there this text data and some you can say apart from you can say numbers, we call them a qualitative data. So they reveal some qualities, right? So not you can say exact numbers. So I can just explain in very simple language. So qualitative can be differentiated with quantitative, that are the numbers. So you can see when you have quantitative data, actually they are numbers. So you have we have different forms of data. So some of the data can be, you can consider as a quantitative, and some of the data you can consider as a qualitative data, right? So and you can see for this quantitative data actually correspond to some label on category, right? Here we have a photo, and you can see that the number is associated with each concept. So you can see this numbers are the, you can see your quantitative data, quantitative information, right? So you always have some qualitative as well as quantitative data, and it is very important to classify them. It is very important to identify that which type of data you are dealing with. So then only we should apply some tools, either it is like Excel tool or some other tools to visualize it and to analyze it, right? Okay, and facets of data contained, again, facets of data means like what are the different, you can say, forms, or you can see decide like different category like numeric and text, and this we have some different aspects also by on which we can again classify our data. So it's important. So we have a structured data. So structured data means it is arranged, it is organized, you can see. So it is a structured, and here you can see structured data is you can see compared to the unstructured data, it's easy to interpret. So here I can see that all the serial numbers have given, and the enrollment IDs, and the full name is your text data. These are the numbers. This is again some text data. But here when I see the structured data, I can interpret it. Like again, if I take the example of the Sharda sir's lecture, like what he has shown our data, one data, and but just if I have a data, it is very important to understand what it conveys, right? So it's just I have this example of structured data, that's it. So not like that, but what actually this conveys is the enrollment ID of this student, and what is the background of this student. So this is not like this row is one data set, one information, but actually it convey many things. So if we have a COVID data, so the like number of people recover, number of people infected. So this numbers you have to they're telling so many things, right? Like telling stories. So means who people who collected the data, they can tell us that what actually it means. So yeah, the structured data can be, you can see more means appropriately you can understand. And this is a unstructured example of unstructured data. So data can be structured as well as unstructured also. So unstructured means it is a raw data or a scattered data. So you can see if your data is just spreaded over a sheet. So it is a unstructured, and you can see some data points some green data points are some different data, and these are different data, but they lies in the same paper, you can see. But it's sometimes it is important to see this raw data also. So like we can see what is the basic behavior, basic nature of the data. So the unstructured data is also important. And then we have the natural language data. So natural language data is also unstructured, but again it has a many applications this in data journalism, mainly your data in the form of text, and you can consider is a natural language data. And you can see in recognition, in summarization, text completion, and many applications are there, online application like Facebook and the social media like Twitters. We tweet something text, so this become a information, this become a data, and all this type of this data are actually natural language, but they are ambiguous. They are actually not convey the exact information, because you can see the if I collect this text, so only some text I cannot reveal that what exactly what it means, right? So therefore, this data is quite difficult, you can see, to analyze. But this is one of the facet of data. And then we have machine generated data. Yeah, this is also one of the facet of data, machine generated. So earlier we have seen like data are yeah, qualitative and quantitative, and they are numbers, they are text, images. But this machine generated data is actually a quantitative data, but it is different because it generated by computer. So you can see computer also can generate a data. So how? So whenever we write some program in our like a simple programming language, and we write the code in English, but the computer does not understand the language. So what it does, the compiler, that tool is convert your English language code into the computer language code, that is called machine language code, and that is machine language data, right? So every time when you do something on computers, and nowadays we are doing computer from morning to evening, we are doing on mobile, so they are also machines. And we are generating this information, machine based information, right? So the process application without human intervention. So the machine generated data is generated by the compiler, right? And it is a major source. So this is a one of the source, lot of data created every day. So if we gather and if we analyze this data, so many type of problems can be solved with the help of this data. So it is very important to understand that which type of data can be generated. Yeah, so one of the website is like graph based data also. So not only data are in rows and columns, right? The other way to represent our data and interpret data and read data information using network based or graph based. So you can see this is a example of graph based data. And yeah, so now we have if we understand the basic characteristics of data, then we can see what are the data strategies. So if we collect the information and if we classify them and if we characterize them, then we can have a different strategies we can have with the help of data. So that is first thing is about the visualizing data, and this we have seen in the last session that visualizing data is a very important part of data understanding, right? Because you can see if you have the structured data or unstructured data, it's very difficult to you can see understand the meaning, like what Shardhav sir has explained, like each row and column what it indicate. But as if we are new to if we just collect the information and somebody tell us that interpret it and tell us the meaning, so sometimes we feel it's difficult. So one way to understand the data and see the behavior, see the patterns of data, it's very important to visualize it. And there are several visualizing tools are available, right? Uh, you can see. So these are the some names of visualization tools. And today we have explored one tool, and one more we are going to explore in maybe next session, right? So exploratory analysis is one of the strategy for the data. That this is also somewhat you can say graphical view, and creating initial baseline for the future analysis. So this is one way we can interpret our data, and this is also for the beginning of analysis process. And here one more thing we can see, that we can understand the data values and the relationship. So this is also very nice strategy of data, in which beside the visualization we can see the relation between our data values. Okay, the next thing is about the trend analysis. So this is trend analysis is like if we collect the data at a different period of time, so sometimes the duration is very important. So therefore it's important to use this strategy, and we can understand the trend of the data over the period of time. And again it is also useful to interpret and identify, you can see the pattern as well as behavior of the data. Estimation is one of the great strategy, because estimation is like one of the very crucial part of data analysis. So it is like we are if we have the information about the system, and if we want to analyze it, so analyze means what? Analyze means what? That we have to sometimes forecast something, predict something, like in stock market we have to predict the stock price, right? So how I can predict? So what we can do is we can collect some prices, stock prices over a period of time, and we can see the trend analysis, and we can visualize the data. And in this part, estimation, we can, by some data analysis tools, we can predict the future value of the stock, right? So it is a very important part of data strategies. And it's all about, it means the understanding of your data, because without, you know, understanding the meaning and the basic about the this data, it's not possible to apply some data analysis tool which is appropriate for your problem. So you can see it is a very crucial part of the data analysis, right? And now we can see this is a very important slide about key components of data analysis. So why I have covered this slide? Because here I have mentioned the title is data analysis, but if you see the points, these 3 points are completely based on the understanding of data. So if I see component of data analysis, so either it is data journalism or it is a healthcare system or any other form, we need to have these 3 points about the understanding of data, right? So I will just emphasize on these three and then we'll stop. Okay, so first thing is the purpose of data analysis. So whenever, like in data journalism, you want to tell a story, you want to make some news article, right? So that what is the purpose? So first thing is very important, very important about the aim of the analysis. Why you want to collect data, why you want to do the analysis, what is the aim, what is the goal of your problem, right? So the ultimate aim must be known in as a first thing, as a first point. Until and unless we can't do the data analysis, so it is not just like there are some algorithm, there are some steps that I have to follow, and I can have I can visualize it and I can got the answer. So we are not just getting the answers here, they are in the form of numbers or something, but here we are aiming something, right? So like I want to write an article. So that is my aim. No, not that much aim. I want to write an article. The people read, people may feel interested, people encourage, people inspire by some writing, right? And people enjoy what we have written in the news article or some article, right? So that is the purpose. So first of all, before doing the data analysis in data journalism also, we should clear the purpose of our analysis. So until and unless you will not fixed and you identify your purpose, you will not able to do anything here, the other points. So suppose your purpose is clear, that what you want to achieve and what you want to do with this data analysis. The second thing is about the questions. You have to ask so many questions. So let us see what are the questions in data analysis, and it is all about the data understanding. So that is the first thing is about the relevancy of data. Okay, so your purpose is clear, and now you want to start collect the information, and you want to collect data. So, but first of all, you have to decide what is the relevant data for your problem. Okay, if you have some unnecessary data you have collected which is not relevant, which is not useful, and after creating data, after the data analysis, at the end the purpose is not solved. So this is the first question you have to ask about your data, that it is relevant or not. So the relevancy is the most important thing, right? So the domain people has to decide that which type of data, which are the relevant data, relevant information you need to have to solve this particular purpose, right? Okay, the second question that you can ask, that how much data you want. So that is also a very important question. I have the list of relevant data, so this many things I need to solve the purpose, but again, how much data I can get, right? How much data I can have. So sometimes the small data is also enough to solve our purpose, but Sometimes we need more information. So like in COVID situation, if we have data from last year, from the starting to until now, we can see it is a large data, but this type of data is needed to means conclude about the future thing, to take a measurement, control measure about the future situation. So sometimes you can see it depends on the problem, that how much amount of data is needed to solve your problem, right? So this thing you have to means one has to take care in journalism also. Like yeah, this is the another question. It seems like a little bit you can say typical. Who collect the data? So who collect the data is also you can see important, because uh, who collect the data means like if I have the purpose that I can write some good article, so like and the reporter is expert in the field, in the journalism field, and who can ask relevant question. But if some a person who is not in the field and who is going to interview somebody and ask some irrelevant question, and the info question means what, it generate the information, right? So if who collect the data is also equally important. So if you are the domain expert and you know the purpose and you know the problem depth, so you can have very good you can collect the information nicely, appropriately, right? So that is also you can see key point in your data. And when and where, so this is also two questions are you can see important when you gather the data, when you collect the data, right? Because when collect the data, so you can see again, if I consider the example of this COVID situation, I can see which time duration I feel you can see more appropriate. So like peak time, if we have more number of cases, or lockdown time by in which some measurement control measure is there, or so the all other you can say time period have a different significance, its own significance. And again, so like if some company wants to start a new product, launch new product, so like at the starting they want to analyze the market situation. So when, so at the appropriate time only the analysis should be done and the data should be collected. So this is also very very important thing, that in which duration, in which time you are collecting the data and which time you are doing the analysis. So many times I tell my students also that these things are very crucial when you gather the information. So you have to be very much specific about like in some year the cricketer has scored this many runs, but you can see the time is very important. So in which duration this happened, right? So the information is not like random information. You can see the each and every aspect of information. So information is actually a data, right? So these aspects of data are very important when you do the data analysis, right? So like if you are printing something on newspaper, so when this Kangana Ranawat has national award, so they're like how many awards, how many times she got national award, so like 4 5 times. But again, when the data, the duration, the time, the year is important. And again, when we are collecting the information, that is also as a part of our data analysis. Okay, the where is again key point in the data analysis, because nowadays, like in the first session, this Varsha ma'am has said that you can see there are many resources of data collection, but some government agencies are there who can who display their data, but again the sources must be reliable. So you cannot collect data from anywhere and you can see this is the correct information and this is the correct thing and I can analyze it, I can visualize it and I can make the decision. No, it's not possible. So the sources are very important from where you are collecting the data. And nowadays we can see there are many resources are there, computers and cloud and online and digital world is a great platform for the data means collecting data and gathering data, right? And like if I have the educational data, so I have to go to education institute, and the person who have this type of information about the educational field, if I want to work on some diseases, so I have to go to doctors, some expert doctors from which I can have the correct information about the data. Like if suppose I am collecting the information of COVID patient, the symptoms, but I don't know the correct symptoms and where to collect those informations, and if I have the wrong source of data and some unreliable source of data, so they may lead the wrong information, wrong conclusion. Even the journalism has to take care so much about this thing, like they are actually means what they are making this news worldwide. So I think it's very important that from where we get the information, from where we collect this data is very important. And sometimes there are copyright issues also, so it's not easy to get the data. So you can see the sources, different sources have some different limitations also. And the social media is one of the source when we can get so many data, so many information, and depends on the problem. Sometimes it is reliable, but sometimes many informations are fake information. And the online shopping and online digital this process like Amazon or this have also data, and these are also very relevant resource from where you can collect your data, right? Okay, and again one more question is this about the how compiled and stored. So once you gather your data from all the taken care, but now where to store the data is again a very big question in data analysis. So because we see that in our mobile has lot of you can say memory, lot of storage is available, but every day we are generating so much data and we feel this is a very less data storage. Computers we have, but we feel it is a less storage. So it depends that which type of instrument you are using for storing the data. So it depends, okay, what is the amount of data. So it is important to have storage information and how to compile your data. So are you using Excel or are you using some different tools for compilation? That is also one of the key question in data analysis about the data, right? Okay, so this is the last point I want to discuss about the data sources and methods. So like this we have already discussed, so data can be created and can be observed and can be collected from many sources. There are a huge amount of sources, but basically it depends on the problem, that if we have some industrial problem or some management problem or some educational system problem, like people are doing research on the how the education policy should work properly and how the how our institution can grow, and we have a lot of competitors, so how can we can survive. So all this analyze can be done on the basis of educational system. The bank system is a very core system of any country, and this can be analyzed, and lot of data here, customer data and many type of data is generated here also. You can see healthcare industry is one of the major industry where the data is generated, data is analyzed, and you can see nowadays we have a conference going on public health, so we can see all about the information, all about the data in healthcare system. Yeah, the media, the journalism have lot of data, right? And the social media is one of the form we are creating, we are gathered information, and we are generating data. Digital world includes all online transaction and online shopping and whatever things we do on digital world, even online teaching you can see. So everywhere these are the sources where the data can be created, and data can be observed, and it can be stored. And the methods are these are the some common methods by which we can have data collection basically, right? So data collection may be from documents, observation, some test we do, and some questionnaires, interviews like in journalism. And there are other tools also for the data collection, right? By visiting some in person or some websites, right? So by which we can have data, right? So it's all about from my side about the understanding and deal with data, the characteristics of data. And this is about the further study and the resources what I have used. So I have referred this article, this handbook about the data analysis. So you can have also, and the images I have used in this presentation from google.com. Okay, so if you have any questions, so you can ask, and thank you for listening.
Thank you, Dr. Salma. It was very interesting, meticulous. Yeah, very nice.
Thank you so much, Dr. Singh, for sharing your views on understanding data.